So, Cass, it sounds like you had a rather traumatic plant encounter.
I hate plants.
I don't think you hate plants. I think you just don't understand them.
They don't make sense.
Sure.
Twiggy, thank you for the tea, because I know Luther's not good enough at this to make that.
You're welcome.
I don't hate you, Twiggy.
Thanks.
You just don't... You confuse me, and I don't like that.
Hey.
Oh,
Yeah,
look at
yeah.
poor Twiggy. He broke her heart.
Twiggy
I will-
confused you.
I
yes.
will- I
You
will
confused
send
me very
Echo.
much as too.
I will send Echo over to Twiggy to try to show a olive branch.
Van, you still have the wand, right?
We'll
We
go to
didn't
the
give that back to
kitchen.
him.
I handed it to you, so
Oh, okay. So yes, no, that's in my bag now. Okay. No, no
No
wand of signaling for you, at least for a year.
So
We'll see.
Okay. So I got
How
the
did your
paperwork.
trip go?
We have the paperwork.
For the pickles, yes?
No, we're not the pickles. Right now, I think we need to pickle Cass for a couple weeks, but we'll pickle everything but his head. He can still he can still talk with being pickled, right?
I mean,
I can
probably.
make a bean vodka.
Oh God. But we have our paperwork. We are allowed to officially go inside the walls. I think Van and the commander got along really well. I kind of figured that would happen.
You know, military types. They speak each other's language. It's weird.
Exactly. And next
It's a
place
simple
we want
language.
to next place we want to go is we need to go talk to Lothar, and I need him to be calm when he goes to talk to Lothar, because he hasn't been calm for like the last 2 days. I swear.
I'm good. As long as
You're
we
you're
don't-
good until the next time a leaf gets blown even slightly.
Leaves, I understand. Moving vines that attack you. Vines are just supposed to lay on the wall and provide decoration.
Tangly vines are all over the place. It's like poison ivy and tangly vines. Mama never said, watch out for these things, no touchies.
How common were they in our area, Second?
I mean, really not much in the city because they.
They would have trimmed them up. They would've
Yeah, I
killed
mean,
them
when
with
you
a
find something
hazard.
like that, you generally remove it. It's the botanical version of vermin. Now there probably are some people that used larger versions of them for like estate defense purposes and stuff like that. But since they're not really trainable, it's probably very unlikely.
Yeah, and I grew up in the city. I would
You a
have spent
city boy.
99% of my time
Yeah,
in the archaeology.
yeah. So I mean,
I haven't
you've
seen any
heard
of
of
these
these things, but you never would have actually
No.
seen one.
Oh dear. Oh
Nope,
dear.
I
You
am,
do remember hearing that they are sometimes used as a material component for certain spells, like the vines specifically. But other than that, yeah, like you've seen them in books. That would have been it. And in books, surprisingly, they just look like vines.
Well, if I need to take one for a spell, I'll take it. But other than that, I don't want to have anything to do with it.
You can reason that the reason it never attacked you all before was because with its predatory nature, it was more than aware that you were all bigger than it can tangle, and also a number of targets rather than individual targets. It may or may not have attacked you walking alone if you hadn't actually physically
I
disturbed
started
it.
playing with it. Yeah.
Yeah. At which point it would have with a with a non-sentient level of intelligence, it would have just assumed once you started pulling at the
Another
vines,
prey.
you had figured out what it was, and were preparing to attack it, which is why it attacked back, kind of in self-defense,
Right.
sort
And
of.
again, I was in its vines. If it can't have the cat, it's going to wrap around the scrawny,
Yeah,
thin bookworm.
yeah,
Bigger thing that probably can't get away if it actually got me.
yeah. Like it had it. I mean, it's a half CR monster, but it legitimately had a chance of dropping you if it got
Oh,
lucky
yeah.
on a couple
Oh, yeah.
hits,
Oh, yeah,
or
he's-
if you succumb to the poison.
Right. So,
Yeah, that would have been an interesting experience having
As long-
Luther and Van potentially walk past, the vine-shaped gas.
Yep.
There would definitely not be any traumatic experiences here at all.
as long as we travel in a group, they shouldn't bother us.
Also, make me a perception check if you don't mind.
Everyone, me.
No, you.
Oh. Where's my sheet? There it is. Sorry, you said perception?
Yes.
Oh yeah, second. There is
One
one.
10.
The pouch on your side that was weighing a few pounds is no longer weighing a few pounds.
Okay. I will wait. I will assume that I'm assuming she won't immediately have an answer right away, so
I mean, she'll at least need to read yours and then write one back. Yeah.
correct. So I'm gonna wait just a little bit, knowing that it is now gone. I'm gonna wait a little bit, maybe 10
Okay.
minutes, and then I'll check.
Okay.
But I'll come back to that.
So, Cass, you calm enough to have a conversation? That's an actual
Yes.
conversation and not as passive.
Yes.
Okay, good. So, Cass and Twiggy, if you want to come with us, I want to go and talk to Lothar at his shop. And I kind of want to take everybody with us because I don't think I can leave Cass by himself right now.
Yeah, I've done enough cooking. I think I've gotten as much as I can on this one right now. So, yeah, I think I'm too.
Alrighty then. 'Cause then we can go and try and get,
As long
Van
as
out
I'm
of
not
this
gonna.
leathers. Because he looks a little weird when he's wearing something that's not the size of a war chest.
As long as I'm not gonna scare Cass, I'll come too.
Also, to address the question that Greymane just put in the chat, he said that the chainmail hauberk weighs about 55 pounds. Yes, and objects in a bag of holding weigh a fraction of their normal weight. And this is basically a bag of holding that has two different locations that it can open.
openings.
So it uses the same mechanical rules as a bag of holding.
I was going to say, because I think bag of holding is 5 pounds, no matter what you put in it, as long as it has a space limit. It doesn't have a weight limit.
Right. I mean, I have argued before, if you drop something dense enough into a bag of holding, you'll feel more than 5 pounds.
I'm
but
okay.
but yeah,
I'm
it
okay.
it is a volume, not
I'll
specifically.
agree with
Yeah. So,
I'm cool with that.
but yeah. So you know for a fact that the armor is not currently in the bag.
Right. Okay. I will wait probably 10 minutes.
Okay.
Probably before we leave, I'll open the bag and look to see if there's a note.
Okay. So the group of you, let's say it is now probably 5-ish, 6-ish.
Okay.
Do you want to eat? If you put a gnome into a bag of devouring, it weighs a little more, but only for a few minutes. This is true. Do you want to eat first before you go? Are you just going to head out? I mean, both are perfectly acceptable.
About what time is it?
Between 5 and 6. So you still have about, well, I can't say between for you. It's about, it's 5:15, and you have 2 hours and 21 minutes until your meeting.
How far away is the meeting with who we're going to, Lothar?
His shop is 11 blocks from here.
Okay, so we'll easily be back in time.
Yeah.
I say we eat. Like, I say we are okay to be eating when Jazz Hands comes.
Oh, man.
Okie doke.
That sounds fine to me.
Okie dokie.
So let's pull up a new map. Normally, I would use the daytime map because it would be daytime. However, I'm going to say because we are in the evening and everything here never gets brighter than twilight, it's probably already closer to dusk/evening because of environmental concerns.
Out of curiosity, my dark vision is not being affected by that.
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
Your dark visions all work perfectly fine. And again, it's like, it's about the brightest it gets is about the color of is about the lumens of an eclipse, and the color has a slight crimson tinge to it. But other than that,
Can you throw a token on there for me? Because I cannot see anything.
yep, I'm pulling them in right now.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No worries.
The other thing, because it would have taken 2 minutes, I would have slipped another note into the bag,
Okay.
just so you're aware.
And that note says plants are weird.
I hate plants. No more fire.
I thought I finished this card, but I'll just do a quick. Give me 1 second to do some mechanics.
Yes, mechanics. Excuse me. Yes, mechanics are important.
Wow, I really failed on this one. Okay, hold on a second.
Vips.
All right, so I won't have a top-down view for him yet, but because I have it, but it's not edited. However, I do have a card for him if I figure out where I just put him. Okay, doke. So, you arrive at your destination. It is a large stone structure.
Well, at least Cass can't light this on fire.
There are steps in the front, and then a doorway. And Twiggy will notice when she walks onto that porch that the porch and the doorway, like the stairs, were constructed separate from the building. There's just the smallest of gaps in between the two.
So, like, these stairs were, like, this was an addition, essentially?
Yeah. Like the building was there, and then those stone stairs were added later. And while the stone stairs are masoned together to each other, they are not masoned to the front of the workshop.
Gotcha.
I will allow you to make of that what you will. But other than that, the building is pretty much exactly what you see.
But that's where we're going, huh? This is the front door?
Yep.
Okie dokes. So we're looking for Luthor, the dwarven room smith master thing. And
Lothar.
Yes. There is a sign on the front of the building, both a swinging sign which is viewable from the street, and then also a stone placard that is visible from across the street from the building, both of which have an image of an anvil with a glowing hammer above it.
Well, this place is a lot better than looking than I thought it was going to be.
The street itself that we're on right now, do we in fact see other people around? Is this like still business hours? Like, I know this is a pretty loosely populated place to begin with, but
I mean, you've seen a couple people moving around. You don't know what groups they were from, and they decided not to approach the four of you. But
sure.
Yeah, you've seen, activity. You've also seen Cassidius, skirtishly sidestepping any naturally occurring foliage.
Any, if it's on the ground, if it's on the wall, all of it.
This is one of those moments
10
where
feet between him and plants at all times.
Absolutely.
So who's gonna go up and knock on
Hey,
doors?
Cassidius, let's go over here and have a conversation with these plants right here.
Really? Really?
No.
I mean, you can have a conversation.
Cassidius, you want to make a nature check?
I would love to.
If you make it 20, you'll be able to know whether they're anglers or not, or tanglers or not. You were so close, but no.
That is a 7.
I mean, maybe not. Who knows?
Twiggy knows for damn sure at this distance.
Yep, Twiggy knows. Twiggy always knows.
But he always knows. Okay.
Luther's joke being, bad and going over Cass's, head. He's gonna walk up to the door and knock
Okay.
because he's not sure if this is a actual shop or his house or how this works. So he's going
Alright.
to knock.
You hear a gruff and somewhat distant, "I'll be there in a minute," from the inside. What do you do?
I will pull out a red handkerchief and tuck it in just like the collar or something, so it's prominent, almost as if it's a kerchief kind of thing to tuck in to be the flag of the moment in Fox's breastplate, just like because it's like to make it very obvious, like little red flag thing, just like little. Okay, good. Okay.
All right.
All right. A moment later, the door opens, and standing in the doorway, for you guys, you will be able to see this person, and for chat, you will be able to see this person. Obviously, the anvil isn't there, but the hammer is. And he opens the door and he goes, "Oh, my young friends who weren't sure if they knew how to count or not, and couldn't. Please come in." Welcome to Black Anvil's shop. So, the four of you are new here, it seems.
That we are. We came in. I am blanking. So this would be what? 2 days ago? 3 days ago at this point?
Yeah,
Correct, or am
honestly,
I
about
wrong?
that. Yeah. A lot's happened in a couple days.
Yeah. Like, For me, it's like, okay, cool. It's been about 3 weeks, but I think it's only maybe been about like 2, maybe 3 days. I think. I don't think it's been more than that. Like, we literally showed up, and all of a sudden, all hell broke loose. And we've only been here for about 2 days or so.
You can put that flag away, lad. No one's stupid enough to try and rob from me. At
Oh, but-
least, no one manages it twice.
We need practice. Or do we want to be polite?
Fair enough.
Yeah, especially after this morning.
There, by the way, the racks of armors and weapons you see in here, you actually see in here. There is just dozens upon dozens of weapons. And
Even have
in
a
many
cannon?
cases, they seem eerily similar. Like, you pick up a longsword, and it's most definitely a longsword. You pick up the next one, and Greymane and Vanwath notices that the balance point is 3 inches tipward from the last one, even though they look identical. And you go through, there are some that are just slightly shorter, some that are slightly longer, some that have a wider wrap, some that have thinner wraps, just weapon after weapon after weapon inside the shop.
Twiggy's going to stand over here in this corner, pretty far away from any of the racks or anything, and she's just got her spoon looking around at all of the very worked metal and
Okay.
And not terribly comfortable.
No.
And Luther suddenly feels bad because Luther did not remember that.
Yeah, I say to Luther, this guy's good.
The
I will tell you
armor-
that his stuff looked good, but when I looked at it in the shop, like, look at this piece over here.
The armor that is over there is not the one that you had seen before, just so you know.
Okay.
That is just another suit of plate mail standing on the armor frame.
Mm-hmm.
It looks very similar. The only reason you can tell that it's not the same one is the metal doesn't have the same luster, so that this is not made from the same material as the last suit that you saw, and this suit is in fact actually steel.
Gotcha.
You know, tink tink.
All right. So this is where Van, you need to, kind of look around and find your armor that you want, and we can try and figure out, how.
Oh,
best
so
to
you're
pay
getting
him.
some armor for the big man, I see.
Yeah, the armor. I like my armor the way it is, and he'll change it to what it's supposed to look like, and then flip it back. He's the one that needs new armor.
Impressive.
His last set, he made it to a colander.
He did do his best impression of a colander with it. Yes, you are correct.
Lothar wanders over to you. He reaches into a pouch and he pulls out a length of cord with knots every probably 2 inches, and starts just taking measurements at 37 different angles.
As you would to be fitted for armor.
Cass,
Yes.
Hey,
Sorry.
you awake, Cass?
as he's fitting you for armor and gets just the right light from the torches on the wall, he stops and he goes, I'm not sure exactly how to approach this problem, but are you aware that you're dead?
I'm not quite dead.
Yeah.
We can settle for that. Good enough for me.
You actually hear Luther laughing a little bit over in the corner while trying to talk to Cass.
Twiggy's not hiding it. Twiggy's just giggled.
So
Um,
during
have
Go
you
ahead.
have you talked to him at all yet?
I have not. I have kind of hidden in the corner
Okay.
because I am trying to kind of quietly see if I can kind of stealthily ritual cast detect magic.
Okay. I mean, probably because he's not really paying much attention to you.
That was the plan.
I mean, it's
Got a
also
dead
very
man that he's
noisy, but
measuring, you know?
he goes,
So I was hoping the dead man would be enough of a distraction.
you know, I do have to say, in all my decades, I don't think I've seen dead men walking of their own accord in the Black Fortress. I mean, aside from the few who use ritual means to do it anyway, but you don't seem like that kind to me. I get a bit of a different smell from you than that.
If you're talking about the necroficers, we thankfully don't have to worry.
Oh no, they're those little peants. I wasn't worried about them. They can't cast their way out of a paper bag.
They can't cast their way out of the graves right now.
Ironically, they may have finally succeeded in meeting death, because they sure never made it with a spell.
Oh, they definitely met death. But I I point towards the ripped up tunic and say, I came out second best in a fight, and I stood up
Happens
later
to the
on.
best of us every once in a while, although most of us don't get partially dead from it. It's all kind of an all or nothing kind of thing usually.
Yeah. This is kind of new and odd for me.
Yeah. No, now that I think about it, since you've been around here for so long, you've probably seen people's armor after the many creatures in this area have dealt with them.
There's
You
been a
ever
few.
seen a like damage done to armor where you could not actually mend it with even with like the mend spell?
Ah, you had a run-in with that white didn't you?
Second best.
Go ahead.
That sounds about correct. I didn't have the run in, but our friend here did, as he pointed out, second best.
I mean, that's saying something. Not a lot of people run into him and, let's say, manage the tie that you did.
That was our first time ever running into that particular issue. Hence why he needs new armor. 'Cause we can't repair it at all.
Well, I don't have anything that would be proof against that. I have what you've already seen that would be more resistant to it.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, the advantage of a good steel, if it doesn't have any runes or any crystals in it, is that it really can't do much more than just make holes in it.
True. We have two sets of armor that were like that one, but it was a first time encountering that particular issue. So I figured because you're more familiar with the area than we are, that you'd probably have dealt with that before.
I mean, honestly, not often, but yeah, I'm not sure what it is. I've heard that it is almost like a genetic defect that some devils get.
Interesting.
But any more than that, I wouldn't know. That's not exactly my field of expertise.
Have you ever been able to repair an armor that's been hit by him?
Yes, and I will tell you it takes a lot of work.
Gotcha.
A lot of work. You basically need to disenchant whatever it is to be able to cleanse it of the stain that is within the armor.
That is, that's
Which
rather-
again, if it's just steel, it's not a big deal. Pip pop, disenchant, repair it, give it a good polish, a little bit of a wax, and you're back to work. If it is already magical, though, it becomes a little bit harder to fix.
Yeah, that's what I was guessing.
But that
All right.
would be something you could do, though.
With enough time, yeah. There's cleansing rituals that can be done to... They take longer, but there's cleansing rituals you can do to remove specific enchantments rather than wiping a thing entirely. And doing that would allow you to remove the effect.
So I think that would be something that you might be interested at a later point there, Ben.
Hmm. I'd assume it's probably quite expensive, too.
Oh, most definitely. That's one of the reasons why not too many people bother with it. Now, I've been told that you can bargain with the creature and it can cancel the effect. But I don't know anyone that's ever successfully done it myself, so I can't make any promises.
That's not an option.
I don't
Yeah,
blame you.
I don't think any one of us really want to have another encounter with it right now.
Not right now, but I would like to have another discussion with it.
Discussion.
I am not surprised, Ben. But I think we need to get you something closer to what you're used to wearing versus that backup leather armor I gave you first. Let's start there and work
Yeah.
our way up, okay?
Yeah, I agree. I feel decidedly naked.
I can certainly understand that, but I mean, we've got a few good things around here. I know you can't afford the best, but you can manage something else for the time being. And then, when you manage to deal with that monstrosity, then maybe we can talk.
All right. So,
What?
Has it been the 10 minutes?
Yep, pretty close.
What do I see magical wise?
You are
In this room, absolutely nothing.
Okay. I will in Luther's head and then into Venwith's head because I see Twiggy's a little uncomfortable and I'm a little uncomfortable with Twiggy still. I will in both of their heads, one after another, say, nothing here is magical.
You also notice, Luther, that you do not see the armor or helmet that you saw before in this room.
Gotcha. Is this the the regular pieces
Ah, yeah.
that you? Gotcha. Because I didn't see the prize piece you put out before.
Oh, good stuff I keep in the back.
We're going to be looking for something that will, fit our big friend here that's in the heavier range. Let's start with what we have out here and see what we can work our way through.
He looks around, looks at the three of you and goes, or the four of you rather, and goes, gives you kind of a smirk and goes, I mean, do you want to see the good stuff?
I would not say no to it. Just getting to look at these things would be a pleasure. I mean, I like looking at nice armor and weapons.
Comes over here, fumbles on his belt for a minute, gets out an iron key roughly the size of Luther's head, puts it into the door, grabs a steel bar, puts it into the loop of the key, and cranks it.
Excessive force required.
And opens the door. You guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Into the room.
I'm assuming everything is glowing.
Yeah. Everything in this room glows.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
There are 2 or 3 suits of armor, weapons of just about every kind. Yeah, Q Quirl sound effects. A couple amulets with runes laid on top of each other. Nexus, thank you for the resub.
Woo.
But yeah, a good amount of big crazy things in here.
This is the point that Twiggy begins to hold the spoon behind her back, much as every small child of the 90s was told, no touchy, and they clasped their hands behind their back.
Yeah. Not a bad choice.
I'm assuming Luther sees the armor that
Yep.
that he had pulled out before, and the headpiece and the
Yep.
helmet.
Yep. The armor's in here, the helmet's in here. Do any of you... Can any of you read Dwarven?
Not one of mine.
Actually, I think I took Dwarven.
Nope, I did not take.
I can if you give me 10 minutes.
I don't remember where the languages are.
It's under your attributes to the right.
You did take Dwarven, sir.
Yeah.
So Gray can read it.
So, the helmet is above the Warhammer in the bottom left-hand corner on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And inscribed on the table that the Warhammer is on, in Dwarven, reads, for Catherine. You believe it says with a K, but Dwarven and doesn't translate easily because it translates phonetically, so you're not sure the spelling, but the rune that's used would be for a K, not for a C, because there isn't one for a C.
Hard C sound, like Viking runes.
Exactly. For Catherine, the grudge will be settled.
Yeah, I puzzle it out, my intelligence being what it is.
Okay.
And Yeah,
Van Wath is mouthing something while he's trying to read.
Reading his lips from across the room or wherever heck I am.
Yep. I mean, you can, because, I mean, that would require a perception check, so obviously you
Yeah.
succeed.
Yes. Probably something I'm used to doing with him since he usually reads out loud when he's mumbling things.
That's fair.
Luther's probably not actually paying attention to that, but it's not because he's, ignoring him. It's more because he's like looking at all of the other stuff going, is there anything in this room we can even afford?
so Master Armor, has the grudge been settled?
He turns, you see his eye twitch a little bit, and he just says, I mean, if it had, I probably wouldn't still be here.
Grudge? What are you talking about now?
I think he means the hammer.
Well, that hammer, that's a means to an end, in the most literal sense possible.
Some skull needs to meet the end of the hammer. Is that what I'm hearing?
I mean, that was always my plan.
Oh, sounds like someone that needs a sword tip going through him.
Didn't mean to bring up a topic.
I mean, I would say it's common knowledge, except it was a long time ago.
Yeah, we're not actually from around here, so
Yeah, it's been... That's a grudge that's 130-ish years in the settling, but don't worry. I've still got time.
You have a grudge from before even the red eclipse.
No, I have a
For the
grudge
red
from
one?
that night.
Oh. Oh.
Okay.
Well, if your grudge is against devil types, we could help.
Oh, it is, and it's against... Well, I would say one in particular, but really all of them, but actually one in particular.
Does this one have a name you'd be willing to speak?
He points at Van Wath and went, he's already met him.
Oh. The bone devil.
Oh, so that's the second one that we've met. Okay. Or well, the first one. The second one was the one that flew away from us. Okay.
He wanders.
Golgar.
He wanders back out the door, and kind of motioning for you guys to follow him. And then walks over, walks through this door, walks through this door.
You awake there, buddy?
Mm-hmm.
This might be someone you can start asking things about, the ring and stuff. And that letter, because didn't that letter have a lady's name on it?
I do not know.
He walks over to, probably this corner over here. Grabs a drinking horn off the wall and starts to fill it.
Hey, Twiggy. Here's the cheesy thing. Since you came with me, you get to give it to him. He hands her the cheesy thing, whatever it was. I can't remember now.
I made a cheese tart.
Sir, Master Dwarf, sir, my friend was apparently a bit rude, bit crass, but that's Cass. So, here, it's one of Twiggy's specials, bit cheesy. I don't know too many dwarves, but I'm given to understand that Master Dwarves like savory things better than sour things, so a cheesy tart for you. It's very good stuff. Well, at least these guys like them. Okay, thank you.
Sniffs it a little bit. He goes, "That's some good craftsmanship right there. Not much of a chef, but I recognize the quality."
You were very good at your trade. You have an oven much, much hotter than mine. But yeah, it's good stuff.
I do not have anything written down under my invitation. Didn't know if I'd be getting an invitation or if not. Do you know what was the name on the invitation? As
Yes.
he's pointing out, was there a female name?
There were 2 names on the invitation, as I remember, and they were Lady Deanna Amlid and Lord Colin Amlid.
Gotcha. Yeah, I just remembered that there was a male and female name.
Yep.
I could not remember.
And then I've got a list. I've got the list of people. Is Catherine on that list?
No.
Was Catherine on the list of names when they were talking about the dragons and stuff?
No.
And I will, as he's kind of talking to me, saying, "Hey, do you want to talk to him about this stuff?" I'm like, I am currently working on that somewhere else. I want to see what that gets me. If we need to come back to him and get more information, we can. But for right now, I'd rather keep that as tight-chested as we can. I'd rather everyone not know that we have what we have.
Well, I wasn't saying to tell them what we had. I was just merely, pointing out that this is someone old enough to actually remember the last one, so probably has some more information about it.
We've already discussed that we're not from around here, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've said it clearly a few times. He knew before we even started chatting with him. Like, before we came back.
All right, when they get to a little bit of downtime,
Yeah.
I will...
Everybody's
discuss
kind of
it.
gathered around the table. He's, he got a horn. He's, shown the ale cask and the rack of horns to you guys if you wanted to grab them.
No, Twiggy's not touching anything in here. 'Cause even these are very fine items.
I mean, the
So-
plus side is that the drinking horns are in fact drinking horns and are not
Yeah.
metal.
No.
They're real drinking horns, not
Yes.
metal horns. Got it.
So, you were alive when the last Dragon Lords were around, correct?
Aye, that I was. I've lived in the city for about 140 years now.
What happened to them?
Well,
They
they fought back.
So did they all die? Like, is it... And I'm not meaning speculative. I mean, did they all die? Is there proof of everyone dying, or...
There's proof of almost everyone dying.
Who's left that it doesn't... I mean, who do we just assume...
Well, let's say there was a body for Dragon Lord Amlid, but to say that he died would be a misnomer, because he'd been dead for quite a long time by then.
So he was a living dead and was put back to rest.
Oh, well, I don't even know if he was put back to rest, to be honest. Dragon Lord Amlid, he's a lich. So I know
Exactly.
that he was killed. I know that he was taken down. But I don't know where his phylactery is, so I don't know that they found it.
Okay.
Swamp.
What about Senwood? Is he proven to be dead?
Zenwood, yeah, he would have been,
From my research, he was the most recent.
Yeah, he was the actual, like, Dragon Lord. The rest of them were Dragon Knights. They are
Oh.
the Dragon Knights are lords. See, there's Dragon Lord 2 words and then Dragon Lord 1 word.
Okay.
So, Lord Amlid is a Dragon Knight who is a Lord. Dragon
lord.
Space Lord.
But Sinwid.
Dragon
is-
Lord Sinwid was the
Dragon
Dragon
Lord,
Lord.
one word.
Therefore, Dragon Lord 1 word. Yes.
Now, from
You
my,
would have thought someone would have planned that out better in advance, but apparently that's just how it works.
So it seems like he's drinking pretty decently, right?
Oh yeah, he's drinking like a dwarf, which is to say,
Okay.
like a fish but with a beard.
Does it seem
Yeah.
like he is restraining because none of us are drinking with him?
No.
He's not caring that we're not drinking. He's just like, more for me.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. I will. Okay, that's good to know for the moment. From my
Now,
understanding,
Sinwid, I will
there's-
tell you, he was a living one, which means he was a dead one. The only one
he
that
was proven dead.
yeah, he was proven dead. The only one that I can't know for sure
Is Amlid.
would be Amlid.
Now, from my understanding, Amlid has ancestors living in the Eastern Gate area. Is that correct information of your knowledge?
That Amlid does?
I believe, wasn't it? Or is it Sinwid has?
You would know it's
Did I
Sinwid.
get that mixed-
Absolutely.
Okay, so
you got
I did get that.
that
mixed.
that was an Ace issue, not a Cassidius
Yeah,
issue
that was
because
an
of your
Ace
memory.
issue.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so we'll address that.
I think
well-
I got that. So Sinwid has.
I know there's a
Living-
man that claims to be,
Okay.
but I mean, 130 years of human parentage is a little bit tough to prove sometimes.
I mean,
Maybe he is, maybe he's not. I'm not one to say.
Okay. Now, you've been around for a while. Were you around the Dragon Knights and the Dragon Lords much? I mean, were you looking at your fine craftsmanship, I would not even say I'd be even remotely surprised to hear that you were their master craftsman. Is that
I wasn't the master craftsman for the fortress because, truth be told, even a runesmith has nothing on a dragon. But I did work for some of the Dragon Knights, and most definitely their lower vassals.
Did you happen to hear in any time of your work anything? I mean, it's amazing to think that these humans and other individuals who would easily pale in comparison to a dragon would have a bond or a pact so tightly knit with these majestic beasts of literal wild incarnate. How did they manage to tame them or become friends with them, or was it a domination thing? I mean,
Well,
do you know anything?
I will say this is not my field of expertise. However, as a good stout clansman should be, I always have an interest in hereditary things and genealogy. So I will tell you that the limited research that I had on it would suggest that there was a pact, an oath, made between the dragons and other races, in this case humans, at the dawn of the Empire. But that was a long bit before my time.
Is there anyone that you know of that's still alive from that time.
No, that would be the dawn of the Empire. Lad, you're talking 15, 20,000 years ago?
If we actually find the dragon, you can ask him.
Is there anyone that would be...
Even a dragon wouldn't live that long.
Is there anybody who is historically inclined that would have more knowledge on that you would have acquaintances with?
Not that I would know where to find.
A name would suffice.
If Lord Amlid survived, it is possible that Lady Diana may have also survived after a fashion. And if so, she may have more information for you.
Was Lady Diana also of the Lich variety?
I think you could safely say that, yes. I mean, married couples and all that.
Pussies and ganders, that's what they do.
Twiggy notices this because her passive perception is stupid. I will allow the rest of you to make a perception roll, but it's going to be tricky. Thirteen
How
and
did
11.
you get an 11 out of a 3?
Because it stopped. Because it didn't stop on a 3.
Oh.
Oh no, it did. Yeah,
No,
he's got
I
a plus
rolled
2
it.
and a plus 6.
Yeah, I have a +2 from my wisdom, and then I have a +6 from my proficiency because I get my proficiency ×2 because it's one of my expertises.
Vanwath notices that as he said that last sentence, a bit of color drains from his face.
What was his last sentence?
Well, Cassidius would know what his last sentence is, but he wouldn't know that it was important.
Right. Okay, fair enough.
He was just talking about the Lady Diana, right?
Yes. But Lady Diana wasn't his last sentence, technically, sort of.
Alright, so I apologize. I've been rather focused in my book and figuring out some information. I know we came here to do some bartering. Have we begun that process?
I mean, if by bartering you mean those two drooling on the floor of my prize room, yes.
There's definitely, us looking those over. But no, we haven't finished that portion yet. We definitely need to get Venoth some more. We just have to look at what's in our range and what Venoth wants, and see if we can make a deal.
Well, what I want is in the room there, but that's out of our range.
Yeah.
How far out of our range is it?
Like
Significantly.
99,000 out of our range now. But no, on less of a joking note, we need something that we can, walk out of here with now. So we'll probably need to look at the the standard stuff for right now and see if we can work out a deal for one of the better things later. And by that we maybe can do a little bartering of the non-item sort you have something that you need, acquired or something you need taken care of, we might be able to help with that.
I believe so, yes. Great.
I'm not going to answer that question because I don't know that you would have known a way to get that question answered. You can ask further, but you would not have been told that specifically.
Oh, I thought the
Yeah, well, yeah, I was gonna say I think Blazer Birdie mentioned it in the other one, but I just
Yes,
don't remember.
then yes.
Because that was the whole reason they didn't want us answering the door, and that's the reason the necroficers came after us.
Yeah,
Right.
it was kind of an after the fact thing, but yeah.
Yeah,
Someone
you're
did
right.
mention
You're
it.
right. So yeah, you would have been able to put those points together.
I have to go. I have a puppy who says he needs to go out, so I will be
Okay.
right back.
No worries.
Now, is there, and this is more me addressing, I guess, the DM, was there armor, in the goodies room, the only stuff that was really in there was way out of our price range, right?
Oh
There
yeah.
was nothing that was like maybe a barely magical item that was just out of our range that I could possibly challenge this man to a drinking contest to see if I can bring it down.
I mean,
I know I can't bring a 99,000 gold
Right.
down to what I want, but is there something that was just out of range that maybe I could haggle down to just in our range?
I mean, nothing in there had prices on it, but you
Okay.
would assume that most things in there would have been well beyond
Beyond.
your capabilities.
Because
Yeah.
because I can guarantee I will win in a drinking contest versus this dwarf.
Yeah, you can.
You can.
As long as he doesn't figure it out.
True.
Which he might figure it out just by
And
looking
that's
at
why
it.
And if
was
he
going
does
to
figure it
make-
out, he would consider that cheating and a slight against his honor, which is generally a bad thing for a dwarf.
We have already slightly slated this man's honor once. Or
Yeah,
dwarf's honor
Thomas,
once.
he literally said that the first time when they asked.
Okay, then I got nothing for you guys. I am not helpful in this situation.
Oh no, you were helpful, just not for the buying stuff part, which
Right.
that's why that was not what Luther brought you here for. Luther brought you here to have a conversation with him about what you
Have
just had a conversation about him about.
And I apologize, Lothar. That's the name. Have you ever heard of? I see you deal with magic items now. They tend to be more martial in nature. Have you ever heard of a magic item transforming itself?
What, you mean like his armor? Pointing at Luther.
I mean, no, not in a not
Like, no.
necessarily in a
Are you trying to go with like a chicken and an egg situation here, where it was
No.
an egg and changed into something else later?
DM. I'm trying to, and I don't even know if Cass would know this, and that's why I want to clarify. When I identified the Dragonstone, would I
Mhm.
know that it is in a state? Does that make sense? Or would I just know that it is a Dragonstone?
Oh.
Because if I don't know that it's technically in a state, then I won't be asking these questions because there was nothing to prod that.
I would say that would be a very hard Arcana roll, just because they're not really seeing where you come from.
Right.
But you
And I
might
had
have read
said
up about it at some point. So Arcana like 20.
Okay. So can I attempt that?
Yeah, you can attempt that.
Okay. I will use a fate point to try again.
Okay, doke.
I play
Okay,
Nope.
you succeed.
Maybe I won't. Okay.
Um,
Did you do a crit thing?
He did a crit thing.
Okay. So would I have known that it is technically in a state?
Yes.
Okay. So Lothar, if it is not
There was
obvious
technically
by-
a crit card that is still sitting, but that's because it is a crit card that said not ace, so I couldn't use that one.
That's fine.
But that card has, just so you know, Thomas, that card is still in play. It hasn't been checked.
That's going to be the card we're probably going to end up using when we start haggling.
If you can't tell by my garb and my lack of, well, anything that is sold in this shop, I tend to be more of the studious and arcane path.
He'd be a wizard.
In my,
I mean,
in
that
my
makes
studies-
sense.
In my studies, I have found that there are certain magical items and magical things that find themselves in specific states. And have you ever heard of these arcane items that might progress through states or change from one to another? Have you ever dealt with items like that?
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of them that, most of the dragon bonded ones. Yeah, that's how they work.
So you seem to know quite an awful lot about them.
I'd
Unfortunately,
seen
we're
a-
trying to get a lay of the land.
Back in the day, I'd seen a few in my time.
I will, because they didn't take it away from me, I will slide 20 gold forward.
Okay.
Any information will be very helpful.
I mean,
I will slide another 10.
I know there's a bunch of items that can do that. I mean, that's not runesmithing. Runesmithing, the thing does what you tell the thing to do, and that's about as far as it goes. But some of the items that are, rather than runic or arcane in nature, are some of the ones that are bonded to mystical beasts.
Is there a way to contact through one of those things?
I mean, as far as I know, the only way to elevate a dragon-bound item is with a dragon.
I will put another just 5 gold down and
Okay.
push it all towards him, just being like, okay. So that would be 35. Oh, I don't know why I rolled an Arcana. Sorry, I did I did.
That's okay. It was a good roll.
I'm apparently clicking things I'm not clicking, but it's okay.
Oops.
Happens.
It's all good.
How much would it cost for you to? I know you do runic stuff. How much does that cost to inscribe
mean-
runes and enchant items?
Depends on the rune now, doesn't it? I mean, you're a bit of a wizard. You know that some spells are easier to cast than others. Some are easier to enchant than others.
What about a simple enchantment to provide a very minimal amount of protection to something?
Depends on how minimal and how often. Once only? I mean, not much at all. A once daily? That's a lot more.
A permanent, very minimal but permanent. Out of context, looking maybe protection 1 enchantment on something.
I mean, weapon or armor, let's say 3,000.
Okay. What about a limb?
You want me to? I mean, I don't know what they've told you, lad, but whatever you've got, that's all you're gonna
No,
get. It
no.
doesn't get any bigger than that.
Sorry, a metallic. You're funny.
You really,
A metallic or prosthetic arm.
Looks at
I
your
will
hands.
I'll
You don't
pull it
have
out
one.
Of, I will pull it out of the bag of holding.
Okay. Looks at it and goes,
I can see
It's-
it intrigues you.
well, this is artificer work, but not an artificer I know. And I thought I knew all the ones in this area. I mean,
I'm just curious.
probably maybe a 1,500 gold, but this item kind of requires you to be missing something before you can use it.
Yeah, fair enough. I was just curious. Didn't know if there was a curiosity discount. Seems like there might be.
You Cass, but that's about it.
Okay, no big deal. I can't afford it at the moment. I was just curious. I'm more interested in the original deal, but I will have to come back. I am not in charge of the money, so
Oh, we can tell.
I will have to get a hold of that first. I will reach back out for the fake arm.
Okay.
Put it back in the bag. That's all I got.
so yeah. We know what happens when he. Now we know what happens when Cass is given money. This is no longer.
It disappears
a-
quickly.
Yeah, this is no longer a.
I'm gathering information.
And he was given for free.
No, he got paid for it.
No, he got paid for it. You're right, but he got paid while he was answering, not before he looked like he was hesitating.
He was hesitating, and then I tried to encourage.
Uh-huh.
So
Whatever.
Go on, Fed.
uh, yeah, I think I'm just gonna lay it all out there.
All right.
We obviously aren't from around here. We're from beyond the gate. We were.
Are
part
you
of-
now?
Indeed, I'm a member. I'm the last remaining member of the Order of the Vigilant Light. I was a paladin order that was founded specifically to fight this demon incursion. The hand that my friend there has came off of my captain. We met Golgar at pretty much the same time with differing results. My captain
Same
lived
but slightly
longer.
different.
My aim is to kill demons. That's what we came here to do. And we're obviously not in any shape to do that with the materials we have.
All right. I'm going to give you advantage on this. But I want you to make a...
They're all single digits, so
It really doesn't matter which one I ask you to do. I want you to make a persuasion check with advantage. This is kind of open-ended. Basically, the higher you roll, the better.
oh god, me rolling high. Oh jeez.
Isn't the auto crit card sitting on the table right now?
It is.
Oof.
Okay.
Thank God that's sitting there.
However, we now use Thomas's other card, which is in fact as close as you can get to divine intervention.
Yay! Thank you for the divine intervention, Thomas.
I'll replenish that card.
Okay. He looks at you, squints a little bit. Catherine Yegrain. Her remains are in the graveyard that is within that white territory. And he won't let me get them. That's why I left the city in the first place. I'll make a deal with you. You bring me her remains, and you use my hammer to smash that bastard skull in. And I'll give you the armor you want.
I'm not going to speak for the rest of the people here, but
Do you guys want to? So, really quickly, Vanwith, pulls back a step and ushers everybody over for a group huddle.
I'm not going to make the decision for us. I mean, I'm more than willing to try to do this on my own. I'm not going to ask the rest of you to come die with me.
Well, since you stink so badly at dying the first time, you're taking a Twiggy with you.
I am perfectly fine with going after him. It's one of the reasons why I was trying to get us the papers. The papers makes it easier for us to slip in and out of the city. We would just need to find out which portion of the city I don't remember what his name is, I'm sorry. The Bone Devil
Kolgar.
is in. Yeah, Kolgar is in.
Well,
Luther, you actually
Was Kolgar the one that I was told about that didn't like Urzel?
yeah.
Lothar, are you the one, or Lothar, do you happen to have a entire map? You used to live in the city. Do you have a map of the city?
I don't, but I think I can find you one.
Okay. Could you also, if you do, point out any important locations / places to stay away from, etc.?
I mean, I can give you landmarks, but I haven't been in those walls. Yeah. Okay.
Anything that would help us traverse and find this graveyard, and anything that might be of help would be of help.
So, we have a deal then? He's looking right at you, Vanwith.
So we all agreed?
I am fine with doing this because we've already had a petition to something similar already. He taps the paperwork.
Cassidius, Adaya is just kind of like screaming yes chants in your head right now.
do it, do it, do it.
I mean, I don't think you got to ask me if coming to learn more and understanding what the city's like. I don't think that's even a question.
I think we has a deal.
Hey,
Vanweth, yeah.
And our piggybacker,
Lorthar takes a drink of the dwarven mead, spits into his hand, and extends it to Vanweth.
I pick up one of the horns, return the gesture.
Okay. And as the camera focuses in on the two of you, shaking hands in a dwarven bond oath, we will end there. So, everybody, that's going to be the end of this chapter. And Ace does not light the casks of ale on fire. They're dwarven. They're flame retardant. So, everybody in chat, go ahead and say who you want to throw a fate point at. Do you want to go to Lost Without Trace Twiggy, Ace Cassidius, Ari Adaya, Greymane Vanweth, Morden Luther, or Spoon? Or, I mean, technically, one of the NPCs. But I wouldn't. These guys are going to need it more. So once again, if you are watching this on YouTube, everybody, thank you very much for watching this. I hope you have enjoyed it. Please be a good werewolf, like and subscribe. If you tell your friends, we do this, especially by the time this one goes up, every Tuesday on Twitch, 8 p.m. Eastern. We have another campaign that runs Thursdays on Twitch at an earlier time slot. But if you're ever interested, make sure you drop over there. There is also a Discord where we have information about the campaign. I can't put the link in, so if somebody else can put a quick link into the chat. If you're watching,
I apologize.
If you are watching for the campaign Discord, if you are watching this on YouTube, the link should be in the doobly-doo below. And if you are interested in getting more information, or also the episodes that have not yet aired, all you have to do is join the Patreon, and for even $1, you will get access to episodes that have not yet aired on the YouTube. And I will put that page up in just a second. Other than that, I'm gonna see who and all everybody voted for.
It actually looked kind of to me like Cassidius got it.
Yeah, Cass.
Cassidius, Cass. A whole bunches of Casses. So, I mean, probably for running and screaming like a girl, Cassidius gets another fate point. Wow, and we just lost signal. Anyone? Good thing we were ending. So, I guess I'm just going to do this on my own. There won't be a wave from everybody else because our internet connection just crashed again. So, thank you all very much for watching this. I hope you have enjoyed. There will be more next time. You're going to have to rewind to the beginning of this episode to see everybody do a crazy wave. But until then, I'll do one for you. Bye!